While we're there, can you tell me about L2s? Because, and specifically Ethereum L2s. I mean, Base has become probably one of the most popular ones. We have a whole portfolio of over 100 companies, and I would say for tokens being launched, it's either Base or Solana is probably the only choices right now going forward that we're hearing. Although we have tokens on Arbitrum and a few others that definitely have life. Just curious what you think of those L2s, and then being an old school Ethereum guy, at some point does Ethereum start charging those L2s for the use of them as a master layer? How does that work?
Well, so I agree with you, Base. I think Jesse Pollock's amazing. I don't know the guy personally, but I follow him. This Zora thing, I don't know if Zora's like pumped like 8-9x in the last week or something. Okay. It's like where you get paid as a content creator.
Oh yes, of course, I saw that.
But like they seem to have cracked
creating
it.
like a little community inside the Base app.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's interesting.
And they've integrated.
I like that because we're still censored in community creation places in Web 2. So it's interesting to see what they're creating.
Correct. So one guy, I forgot his name, he made like 50 grand just in the first hour of using the app. I mean, there's like spectacular outcomes. Check it out, definitely. I mean, Jesse from Base is like a source of major alpha. I think Coinbase is a phenomenal company. What they've done with Base is incredible. They even have an L3 on Base called Degen.
Yeah, or Base 3, is there something? Oh, the Base 3 is a gaming layer, I think, in L3.
Yeah, but Degen is kind of like this other layer, and then there's token issuance frameworks there, like Mint Club, which has this bonding curve. They even have like Depe, which is like Degen Pepe. It's like the original Pepe on this Degen L3, and so the innovation is spectacular. And I definitely agree with you. It's either Solana or Base in terms of like, new tokens. We'll see what happens. I just wouldn't bet against Coinbase, frankly, ever. So, that's kind of going to be the race. With respect to Ethereum as an infrastructure layer, I think that the L2 narrative is a little bit misunderstood. You got to go back to, like, let's say in the beginning or even the first few years, when usage would spike, gas would be totally out of control.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was like the biggest hurdle that we faced, right? Like, how can I use Ethereum when it costs me $50 to send a transaction? Yeah. And from a scaling standpoint, now initially when Ethereum came out, we had this world computer meme, and we were going to shard the L1. So the initial promise was 1,024 shards. Later that became 64. And then I think in 2018, Vitalik posted on his blog, okay, we'll have like one shard maybe. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, okay, very hard. So then the L2 approach begins. And I was very fortunate to come along for the Polygon ride when it transitioned to Matic. Yeah. But you got to realize, and this is where it gets a little bit confused, and I think especially with maximalist thinking when they simplify and like they want to dunk on someone on Twitter, like the way the L2 ecosystem developed is a response to market forces, right? It's not like Vitalik waves his wand and this is how it's going to be. No, because people have to choose to use it, right? So the cost of using Ethereum was very expensive, and the scalability was a big challenge, and other approaches like sharding were very hard. So instead we had innovation, proof of work sidechains, and later Optimism and Arbitrum and so on, and they've largely been adopted. And now we have corporates using them. Sonium is another one. Obviously they're censoring it, but again, you can customize it for your use case, and that's fine. And I think you're going to see every large institution consider coming on chain with its own L2, potentially financial institutions with their own DeFi vaults. I can imagine them using Morpho as an example. And so now you have your own L2 and your own Morpho vaults, or perhaps other services, Aave white labels, and so on. And that's the experience you create for your user, right? Like now,
Investment Club. Today, I consider it the best investment that I've ever made. We get 4 projects presented a week by their associated CEOs. Personally, I'm completely blown away by the quality of these projects, and I know of nowhere else where I would be given this same opportunity. Each week that passes, I feel more appreciative of the fact that I'm a member of this group. The vibe was just tremendous. Everybody's on the same wavelength. We just clicked. Everybody listened to each other, enjoyed their company. It was just magical. Take action. Don't take my word for it. Due diligence you need to do. And I really hope that someday down the road I see you in the club. It far exceeded expectations, without question.
Coinbase, or Base, I guess Coinbase we can say, has tremendously benefited as a company from its L2, where the fees to Ethereum maybe have not. But that's the point. The point is, from the scalability standpoint, to enable these low-cost, very fast transactions that increase user adoption, and then a future where the number of L2s massively increases. Like, that's another point that gets lost. The number of L2s is so much higher today than it was last year, let alone a few years ago. So I think the model, generally speaking, is going in the right direction. When the price of a token is going down, it's easier to accentuate and highlight certain arguments about why, such as the Ethereum L2 parasitic argument. But suddenly, sentiment flips. The price starts pumping and so on. Tom Lee, it's the stable chain, all the companies that own it. Oh, maybe the L2 thing isn't such a bad idea, right? So I just wouldn't anchor technical arguments on price sentiment. But it is going in the right direction, in my opinion. It's got, and look, as a user, you have different flavors. If you want a monolithic, you want everything within the L1, use Solana, right? It's not like you're forced to use anything. That's the beauty of all this stuff. So, we'll see, but definitely going in the right direction, in my opinion. I think some of the user experience can improve, whether that's a better wallet experience. I mean, the Phantom experience is really good, as an example.
Yeah.
But, maximally decentralized trust infrastructure for large blocks of capital, that seems to be the clear narrative for Ethereum right now. And, Apollo is using Ethereum, right? Very large institutions are, BlackRock and so on. So the thing is, that doesn't really have much of a ceiling. The sky's the limit on that. So, and really, at the end of the day, the security side of it for issuance of tremendous amounts of assets is what wins the day, in my opinion. And I think Ethereum has generally done a good job in that direction.
So when does Ethereum flip Bitcoin for market cap?
Well, I don't know that it's going to flip Bitcoin because the immaculate conception of Bitcoin and Satoshi and everything is hard to, you have to love that, right? And it's something you have to ascribe to. And, Andrew was on Squawk Box and he said, I'd rather have a landline or an iPhone than a landline, right? That was his kind of argument.
Comparison, yeah.
But, why not have both, in my opinion?
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.